Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
How's everybody doing? As always, we love having a full room. And as always, we try to start on time. Commissioner Thompson is a stickler for that. Wants to make sure we start on time. So it is 8:59, and I want to welcome everyone. The only thing that's constant always is change. Is that correct? And we have a change in that we have two new commissioners that were sworn in for the Board of Police Commissioners. And I'd like for Commissioner McCarter and Commissioner Wong to introduce themselves real quickly.
Oh, sure. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all. My name is Johnny Wang. I've been a resident of St. Louis County for 45 years now. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 3 teenage boys. I've been practicing law for just over 20 years. I'm a shareholder at Littler Mendelson. I specialize in labor and employment law. Really look forward to serving on this board, serving the community, and having this opportunity to give back. Good to see you all.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth McCarter, but everybody calls me Beth. I've been do I have to say how many years?
You can fudge.
Well, it's over 60. So I'm an attorney here in St. Louis County. I actually owned the building across the street for 30 years that we sold a few years ago, where I practiced, and I'm just down the street on Ladue Road now, primarily in estates and trusts and probate court stuff that people hate. And I'm married to my husband Dudley for 40 years. I've been a lawyer for 38, and we have 3 lovely daughters and 4 grandsons that we're very proud of. And I'm delighted to have an opportunity to serve St. Louis County, and will do the best job I can.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, Amy, with that, let's do our roll call.
Commissioner Banks,
Here.
Commissioner McCarter,
Here,
Commissioner Thompson,
Here.
Commissioner Wang,
Here.
Commissioner Wild.
Commissioner Wild is absent today. Okay, Lieutenant Rodriguez, would you lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for item 2 on open discussion, I would like to add that we want to certainly thank Commissioners Ashworth and Commissioner Hassler, who served for many, many years on our board. We're going to give them proper recognition, hopefully at our September meeting, so we can honor them for their years of great service to this board. With that, Amy, do you have anything else for open discussion?
I do not.
We have a couple deputizations this morning from airport police officers and Washington University. Would you gentlemen step forward, please? It's very painless. Don't worry about it. You raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I am a citizen of the United States, that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States, the state of Missouri, and the charter and ordinances of St. Louis County, that I will faithfully adhere to the regulations provided in the rules and procedures for deputization. I went a lot there. Just that I will faithfully adhere to the rules and regulations provided in the rules and procedures for deputization, as adopted by St. Louis County, and that I will faithfully demean myself as a deputized officer of the St. Louis County Police. So help me God. There you go. One quick point for each of you. For our airport officer, as a deputized officer of St. Louis County, you are restricted to the protection of persons and property at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. And also looking out for our parking when you see us up there. For Washington University officer, as a deputized officer for St. Louis County, your authority is restricted to the protection of persons and property on the Washington University campus. Congratulations, gentlemen. Say hello to our board. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, sir.
Chief Cox, I understand you have some very important people introduced this morning.
Yes, sir, I do. Good morning. Good morning, Board of Police Commissioners and ladies and gentlemen. First up is Rabbi Shook. He's going to introduce 3 new department chaplains.
Oh, great.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Police Commission, new members I have yet to meet. Welcome, congratulations. Chief, it is my honor and privilege to present 3 new chaplains who are joining the St. Louis County Police Chaplaincy Corps. And first up is Reverend Alex Jamerson, currently serving as minister with the Ferguson Heights Church of Christ, also a chaplain at St. Louis University Hospital. He holds degrees in pastoral care and counseling from Liberty University, and he is the spouse of Mercedes Emerson, who brought 3 children with her today. And we're delighted that they're all here to see their dad get inducted into the chaplaincy program. Chaplain Jamerson will be serving with the Metrolink unit. Welcome, Chaplain Jamerson.
Come on up. This is for you as well. Would you step out this way, please?
Reverend Steve Lemons is an ordained permanent deacon of the Roman Catholic Church. He began his spiritual journey as a Methodist. We won't talk about that at the moment, but it began a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And now he has arrived by way of Kansas and all parts west, and he's now back in the St. Louis area, now serving the St. Louis Archdiocese at a congregation in High Ridge. But he's going to be a chaplain for the City of Fenton precinct, and we're delighted to have him join our service. So, Chaplain Lemons.
Congratulations, sir. This is for you, and this is for you. Let me get you out of that ticket. Let's get a picture. We got to get a picture, sir.
Chaplain, sorry.
Thank you.
Chaplain John Tubasing is an ordained elder of the Presbyterian Church USA, also a member of the national church body, the Presbyterian Church USA. He currently serves in the role as an elder at Kirk of the Hills Presbyterian Church in Town and Country, and even though he was recommended by one of our earlier police superintendents of St. Louis County, we still engaged him for the St. Louis County Police Chaplaincy Program. Thank you, Chief. He specializes in counseling and caring for people in need of spiritual guidance, and that is his special talent. He will be serving the Central County Precinct as precinct chaplain. John?
Oh. Congratulations, sir. You were smart. You were sitting down. This is for you. And thank you. Let's get a picture together. Rabbi Shook, you want to get in here and get one all together? Need your pretty face.
Hope you don't burst into flames, Chief.
What? Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations, all of you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. You made Commissioner Thompson a little nervous by those men of God in here.
Would you guys like to introduce your family at all?
Bye. Yeah.
This is my wife, Mercedes. This is my oldest, Ava, middle, Zaya, youngest, Jaden, and my mother-in-law, Beverly.
All right.
Next up, Mr. Chairman, we have a Chief's commendation for Chase Seacrest to be presented by Executive Director Julie Wagner.
Great.
Don't be shy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Julie. How you doing?
Chase, please come up. You don't get to sit. So I'm honored to nominate Chase for a Chief's Commendation in recognition of his exceptional leadership, dedication, and behind-the-scenes work in the successful implementation of the department's Leadership Development Institute. Once the vision for LDI was created, Chase was hired and entrusted with bringing the program to life. And over the past 2 years, he has gone above and beyond that charge, successfully planning, coordinating, and executing 3 full LDI sessions. Each session involved managing between 80 and 140 participants, requiring extensive organization, adaptability, and attention to detail. Chase worked tirelessly behind the scenes to research and source high-quality training opportunities, coordinate and schedule instructors, manage logistics, communicate with participants, and ensure each session ran smoothly from start to finish. His work required sustained effort, strong project management skills, and a commitment to excellence that consistently exceeded expectations. The success of LDI is a direct reflection of Chase's dedication and professionalism. His ability to manage complex logistics while maintaining a high standard of quality has had a lasting impact on our department's leadership development efforts. Thank you, Chase.
Great job, Chase. Congratulations. Nice suit, too, brother. Gotta take a picture. Chase, you bring anybody with you? Today? Any guests? Oh, I did.
Congratulations.
Thanks for being here. What's up next?
All right, Chief.
You do your thing now. We got to talk about the budget.
Yes, sir. That's right. This is usually the opportunity where we ask anyone welcome to stay with us and get through the nuts and bolts of our meeting, but we are about to get into the nuts and bolts of our meeting. So if you want to run for the door, this is a good time to do it. We usually give you about a 2-minute head start.
Terry, come on up, Terry.
Terry, you didn't empty the room as you normally do. Terry, they all want to stay. Riveting, riveting. I know. The budget report, most interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Used to this excitement.
Gotta have a replacement. October.
Try and lean towards it.
Ready to get it done, though.
No, okay, thank you.
I'm tougher than that.
Okay, on the report that I included in your packet, it's a little bit different. I had a $2.9 million deficit, but at that point, the supplementals that we requested from council hadn't passed, and I just approved the transfer this morning, so that will be lowered by like 1.2 million. So pretty much our shortage is all in salaries and fringes. Per our CDL, we're going to do a transfer in like September or October, reevaluate where we're at.
Tell our new member CDL is our,
Our council department liaison.
okay.
We meet with Councilman Harder every month to discuss the budget and anything else going on. So the first Monday of every month. As far as anything else, I mean, I think I mentioned this last month that we spent and were reimbursed all of our ARPA funds. So that for the second precinct, so that's all good. And all the supplementals went through, so I think we're good on everything else. We expect about 6 more retirees that we know of. So our retirement payout looks very solid. So that might help us a lot in the transfer in September or October. But other than that, I don't have anything else unless you, I did want to mention. So I had told you, I always talk about that retirement percentage that they increased the last time, and they did give us an additional $709,000 to put in our budget for that, to cover that increase. So that was good. So that's another reason why we're not so bad with the salaries and fringes. Other than that, do you guys have any questions?
Questions on the budget yet? Okay.
Terry, do you have any concerns for the last quarter? Anything that, we don't want to be caught off guard, fourth quarter, for upcoming?
I think we'll be cutting it really close at the end, but I think salary and fringes, we definitely are going to have to ask for a supplemental for that, not a transfer. It'll be a supplemental. It'll be additional funds. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. And we really, for 2027, I didn't mention this, that we do have a budget meeting that keeps getting put off. It was supposed to be today, but it's next Tuesday morning. So we'll know, and that is with the budget office, and then it goes to the county executive, and then it goes to council. So we're kind of just at the very beginning of getting that accepted.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So every year, you meet with Harder and folks regularly on the budget.
Yes.
So we also project increases for salaries and so forth. So how, and we're short staff. Yes, sir. Right? So I'm confused on how we could be short staffed and we're
Still
putting
need a
budgets together
supplement.
regularly and we're still behind by.
Okay, I
by
can
1.2.
explain that. So when the budget passes, council, when they passed it, they make a line called the salary and vacancy lag. And they deduct for this year, they deducted over 13 million from our salaries and another 4 million from the fringes. So they're not getting rid of our positions, but they took the money away.
Okay, say no more.
Okay.
So you all are doing the right thing. Your projections, you're pretty much in line with what you project. You're pretty much on point with all the costs, but some other folks cut it. They just cut it.
Yeah, the dollar,
Right.
not the
They
position.
cut the dollar, not the
Yeah.
position.
So you do.
How does that work in the conversation? I mean, when you're having these discussions with those who are.
Every month.
And is it time for us to go talk to them? I mean, they need a few,
Any help would be greatly appreciated.
yeah.
That's why I think too, when we ask for that additional supplemental in the fall, it will be given because of that,
Sure.
because they take out almost 17 million. I think they went a little high. They've done this for 2 years?
2
It's
years.
been the 2 years.
Time for someone to come in with some good MF and, and then.
Right.
Okay. Thanks, Terry.
Sure.
Thanks, Terry. Brian, introduce yourself too. Introduce yourself. What do you got?
Morning, Ward.
Morning.
Captain Bland in the Research Analysis Bureau. Usually I'll give crime stats. Myself, our analyst, Allie Noble, but today it's gonna be me. So let me get logged in here really quick. Oops, here. Show it there. Yeah. I'm not tech support, so.
That's okay. No signal. I hate when it says that. I call somebody when it says that.
Yeah.
Unplug it.
Help, help. Then I hit it.
That's it.
Yep.
He said he's not gonna do anything. He said he spoke with Lisa early this morning about.
We gotta go tech support.
I can certainly give a verbal report if I need to, but I don't need the PowerPoint.
Well, I did share it with, with our new board members, we get those ahead of time, and I did share those with them. So they have at least had a cursory look at them before they come in, but we get them every month prior to this meeting, so you get a chance to see them. Here we go. Yay.
So for the month of July.
Hey, Lisa,
Let's see here.
why not recognize you?
So usually the first slide will go through, oh, yep.
You guys up.
I apologize for being 6'2".
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, let's do it.
There we go, perfect. So for the month of July, our Division of Patrol handled 14,400 directed calls for service and also 13,232 self-initiated assignments. So that includes like traffic stops, self-initiated activity. Of those, that generated 314 felony arrests, 333 misdemeanor arrests, and 74 guns were seized. So the next slide is a year-to-date comparison. So those numbers I just gave you are pretty consistent month to month. So year-to-date through July, that's 1,876 felony arrests, a little over 2,200 misdemeanor arrests, and almost 500 guns were seized from the Division of Patrol. And then here's some month-to-month comparison. The outlier, the month of March, that's where we saw our highest numbers of felony arrests, misdemeanor arrests, and guns being seized. Another thing I'll mention, use of force incidents for the month of July, we had 26. Of those, we had 2 canine deployments, one use of a firearm, one use of a less lethal weapon, that's a less lethal shotgun, like a beanbag round, one use of pepper spray, and then 4 deployments of a taser.
Kevin, could you explain for them the use of force is, go ahead, explain what that is.
Sure, so every time our officers use force to effect an arrest, anything other than like a usual handcuffing technique, that's going to be likely a reportable use of force. Or if we injure somebody through a handcuffing technique, that's going to be reported. So the street will typically call a road supervisor to show up to make sure everything was within policy. And then they do an administrative report to supplement the investigative report that gets vetted internally and then goes through our Bureau of Professional Standards for ultimate review. So every time we use force, it is looked into to make sure it's within compliance.
Thanks for the explanation.
Yep, no problem. Every month, I'll give a breakdown of arrests in comparison to uses of force. So you'll hear from that every month. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Crimes against persons data. I've been in my position for over a year, and luckily, I think every month I've been able to say that crime is trending downwards. So July is in line with that. So we've had 15 homicides year-to-date investigated by our Bureau of Crimes Against Persons for homicides located within St. Louis County, our contract that we patrol for. Every category is trending downwards except for the subcategory of aggravated assaults with a knife or cutting instrument. At the beginning of the year, we had an uptick on those. As the year's progressing, you're kind of seeing that number regress towards the mean, so we're about where we typically are at this time of year. Assaults through intimidation are slightly up also, but overall, crime against persons are down by almost 1%. And any questions on that slide? I know it's a lot of information to digest, but. Here's the infographic for the homicides that we've handled in the month of July. So in July, all 3 homicides that we handled, again, were in St. Louis County patrolled areas. We had no requests by municipal departments to handle their homicides. All 3 involved use of a firearm, and as you can see at the very bottom, that clearance rate and total clearance rate is at 100%, so that's exceptional. So every homicide that was handled in the month of July has been cleared. Homicide numbers year-to-date, our Bureau of Crimes Against Persons handled 26, 15 in St. Louis County patrolled areas or contract municipalities, and then we had 11 requests from municipal agencies. So altogether, our Crimes Against Persons Bureau has handled 26 homicides. And at the bottom, again, the clearance rate, that 113%, that's above 100 due to clearances from previous years. But the overall clearance rate towards the bottom is 92%, again, fairly exceptional.
Captain, a real quick explanation of how we differentiate between St. Louis County and municipal areas for our new commissioners.
Yep, so our department routinely will get requests from municipal departments that might have like an assault first, it might be a homicide or a homicide, and they can request us to come in and handle that investigation. So not all municipalities do that, but when they do request, we will.
It goes in our numbers.
It goes into our numbers. Yeah. So sometimes the number fluctuates depending on whether or not they choose to utilize us or not.
Thank you.
Yep. Crimes against property. Again, not a whole lot to note other than that everything is trending downwards. I would say that of note is our motor vehicle thefts compared to this time last year are down fairly significantly by almost 200 fewer incidents. So I'd attribute a lot of this to like our monthly messaging. My peer captains every month do messages to their precincts, and I think that that's gained traction on better education of the public. So you see crime, I think some of that education is paying off. Especially, fraud and related offenses are slightly downwards. Any questions on that slide? Okay. And then crimes against society, not a whole lot to note on this. Most of these are through self-initiated police activity, and that is slightly down by about 12%. And then this last slide, previous board meetings we had talked about, my bureau had done a workload study. This is kind of a snapshot from that. If you look at that left category, that's our precincts. This does not include like the Bureau of Transit, which is also in the Division of Patrol, or our special response unit, that kind of an auxiliary police unit to assist our patrol precincts. That's our service population in each precinct. Each precinct's broken down by square mileage, population per square mile, authorized staffing. That's not actual staffing, but authorized staffing in those precincts. and then the population per officer. So as you can see, that the right side, is kind of hard to put this together, but the way our precincts are divided up within St. Louis County, a little fractured, but that's the area that we cover in St. Louis County. So that's my last slide. If you guys have any questions, I can absolutely try to answer them.
Oh, great, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Julie, introduce yourself too, Julie. She ain't listening.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Julie, you can tell the people out in the hall that we, like church,
We have plenty of
we've got
seats.
seats in the first pew. If they want to sit down,
I'm sure they'll take us up on that.
I'm sure they will.
All right.
Nobody's in the first pew.
That's right.
So
Right.
we'll jump right in. One thing I wanted to start off with is our retention. Wanted to kind of give a different look at this and a little bit different measurement. But this is all staff. So this is commissioned and pro staff. So far, year to date, we have a net gain of 1. We have hired 62, but we've lost 61. And as you can see, 2025, we had a net gain of 22. So being that it's already August, we're a little bit behind that, but still hopefully going in the right direction. Now, in terms of commissioned, just in the month of July, we lost 4 from patrol, and that's a big hit. One thing I did, I went through each of their exit interviews to kind of see what's going on. All 4 of them said they were leaving for another agency for higher pay. 2 of them did talk about lack of movement, understaffing, really being some of the issues that they dealt with. Sudden lack of overtime opportunities. You know, we obviously have reined that in a lot, but it has really
Budget.
affected our officers. 1 did say they were getting a sign-on bonus with their new agency. Another said that they're going to get health care for life. So even after retirement, they have health care, and that's huge. That's
Who
something-
provides that? I want to know.
There's actually several agencies that do, so that's hard to compete with,
Yeah.
and just better
Absolutely.
retirement in general. So those are just some of the reasons that we're seeing that people are leaving. But just as a side note, we also have 37 commissioned employees that are currently eligible to retire, and then another 82 that are eligible in the next 3 years. So this is not anything that's going to slow down anytime soon, and we've known that this is coming, but it's definitely something that's hitting us now. In terms of just our staffing numbers, in terms of commissioned, so far right now, we're 86% staffed. 86 doesn't sound horrible, but that's not just patrol. So that's all commissioned. So they're not necessarily assigned to beats. But that is, you know, those that are in patrol, it's a lot less than 86 on the streets. But as you can see, like last year, we were 87% staffed, but the year before, we were 85. So again, moving in the right direction. This year, we're just a little bit behind. In terms of pro staff, that's where we've seen the most movement. We are 92% staffed when it comes to pro staff. We haven't seen numbers like that in years. So very happy to see that piece. You know, a lot, as some of you know, a lot of our positions we've taken and made the commission positions, and we've made them pro staff. Some different jobs that we know that a pro staff expert can do. So that's part of that increase that you see in those positions. 2024, we had 409 authorized. And now we have 435. So that's where those extra positions are coming from. So one of the biggest hits we've noticed in my office recently is the number of applications received. So I tried to kind of break it down on what the average is per month. So as you can see, year to date for 2026, for commissioned applications, we're receiving about 39 a month. But last year we received almost 51 a month. That's a big decrease. You know, and this doesn't even go into the quality of applications that we're seeing, but we are down 23% compared to last year in just those number of applications. So in terms of our recruiting strategy and what we're focusing on to kind of combat some of those things, expanding our candidate pipeline. So this is something that we've been focusing on the last couple of months, really working with universities, with their athletic departments, their criminal justice programs, trying to build those relationships to get candidates coming right into the pipeline from there. We're also looking at a potential partnership with a company called LeoForce to identify our passive candidates. So LeoForce is an AI-backed company. They are able to go out and find candidates that we maybe aren't reaching. And so that's something that we're going to try and partner with the Police Foundation to be able to back that. So we're working on that right now.
Very expensive?
No, it's $200 an applicant.
Okay.
And those are just, so we're able to give them a lot of screening questions so that we can kind of weed through. And that's just the candidates that pass all of those and that they present to us. So it's a very easy cost for us to potentially pay for even our own after the foundation is able to help us, because we could potentially scale back on some of the recruiting events that we're going to, some of the job fairs that we're not getting a lot from. We can save that money from those and put it towards getting some more qualified candidates that we're able to really target. We're also trying to modernize our recruitment marketing. The foundation has agreed to help us with a recruitment marketing consultant, and that person will really help us increase our social media presence with some recruitment videos and just different officer stories that we can hopefully just increase our branding through that. And then continuing to build those long-term talent pipelines through our Explorer and Cadet programs. Those are huge for us. Like I said, expanding our relationships with colleges and universities, and then just ongoing engagement and relationship building with applicants that maybe aren't quite qualified yet, and keeping up on those. So in terms of retention, you know, it can be argued this is even more important, obviously, than recruitment. So some of the things that we're doing in terms of retention, leadership and employee development is huge. So the LDI, continuing that. We have a session that is starting next month. Supervisor training and coaching, we've really put a focus on that the last year. Just succession planning in general. And then hybrid tenure proposals. So I put together a proposal to potentially go to a tenure program again, but it would be hybrid. And really what this means is that a lot of our specialized units, a lot of people will stay in those specialized units for years and years and years until they retire. And this would really just give us a little bit more movement. So as you guys saw, one of the things of feedback from exit interviews is that there's no movement. You know, they're putting in for specialized units, and we advertise that. We advertise that we have all of these specialized units that somebody can come do, but yet we don't have movement in them for them to even get those opportunities. So looking at what could we do as far as a tenure proposal goes to maybe get some of that movement going and developing our people. Employee wellness is still definitely a focus. The Gateway Strength and Wellness Center will be coming next summer. That's going to be a life changer for our employees. Very excited about that. And then continuing with our peer support and wellness resources, as well as our employee assistant resources that we have. And then in terms of performance and accountability, one of the biggest changes, we're using PowerReady for our performance management system now. So we're going digital with all of our performance evaluations. We have not gone live with that yet, but we're ready as soon as the manual is through all of the red tape. And then also helping our supervisors with regular coaching conversations and how to do those. And then we're also in the process of revising our promotional policy so that our promotional processes are more transparent, more fair, and they actually really produce quality candidates. So we're working on that as well. So that is all that I have. Those are just some of the things that we're working on and how we're gonna hopefully get there. Any questions?
I have one question, and this may just be my newness. When you say we're staffed at currently at 80,
86.
are the other 14% of staffing, is there money in the budget since we're running at a deficit and they said that they weren't gonna fund our unstaffed positions? How does that interplay work?
Sure, so we're told that if we were to get the candidates for those positions, that they would fund them. It's just not that money is just not gonna be sitting there waiting for us, is what we've been told.
Okay.
So we're just continuing forward on hiring, and we're just gonna keep moving forward as fast as we can as far as getting qualified candidates, but we've been told that if we can bring them on, that they will fund them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It is a good question.
Just to clarify, so though with the current shortfall for what they withheld, that accounts for that, or is that on top of already what we're paying out?
So this is on top of already. So like if you see in 2024, we were authorized 945.
Yep.
Now we're only authorized 919. That's them slowly taking away those positions and then some of those positions being made into pro staff positions. So it's a little combination of both.
Okay.
So
If
we
we
have,
fill it, they'll pay it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
That's what we're told.
You're gonna tell us what the academy enrollment, how many we have there and that kind of stuff?
Yes, so we currently have 15 in the current class. We have 4 that are confirmed for the January class already. We're moving forward with that. We have 14 that are in backgrounds for that.
That's our current academy class.
Yeah, so yeah, our next academy class doesn't start till January, but we're already filling it. And
And
just
when,
so that-
this current one graduates?
December.
December, gotcha.
We have a program called a pre-recruit program where if, let's say somebody right now, we're able to give them an offer for our January academy, we bring them on as a full-time employee and they're classified as a pre-recruit, where we get to start getting them acclimated to the department, to what they're gonna be doing. They get to see all of the different units. They get to start working out with one of our trainers at the academy so that we can have them actually more than ready to go by the time the academy starts. And that way we don't lose them before the academy starts. We don't want to lose a candidate to another agency that's able to start an academy sooner or something like that. So our pre-recruit program has been very successful for us. And that's what we're doing with those that come on earlier than when we're starting.
That's great.
So yes, and they get full salary, full benefits, everything right off the bat.
Yeah. You mentioned that in the exit interviews, pay differential was one of the reasons they were leaving for other agencies. What are you seeing in terms of a percentage difference?
It's usually about 10% difference or so, sometimes more, depends. For instance, we do lose people to Illinois quite often because their starting salary is at least $20,000 more a year than what we offer. Now, we offer a lot more with other benefits, but when we're looking at just pay, that's just one example, but it's usually about a 10% difference, sometimes a little bit more.
Got it. Thank you.
They have some have signing bonuses too as
Yes,
well.
yeah. I mean, we were looking at
Bonus
$15,000,
to sign.
$20,000 signing bonuses, and that, I mean, that's hard to compete with.
Can't compete with that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Questions? Anything?
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
Julie. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks, Julie. Mr. Chairman, last on my list is I get to introduce the great Lisa Campbell. It is the Crime Lab's 60th anniversary this month.
Wow.
I think the Crime Lab is one of those, as a group, unsung heroes that make our jobs a lot easier. They are exceptional at what they do, and Lisa is probably the best in the business. So Lisa, will you and your team step up and be recognized, please? I don't have an award for you. You guys are good. Let's take a picture. Why don't you guys come on up? Let's get a picture.
While you're doing the picture, Chief, I'll explain that to our new commissioners, Chief, that every year, since about a year now, we try to bring up different divisions and explain what they do.
There she's at.
CSI.
Where's Laura? Hey, is Jerry out there? Thanks, guys. Thank you for your service. I think Lisa's going to do her thing. Thanks, Lord.
Did you? As I said, we hadn't talked.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm pulling up my thing. I'm Lisa Campbell. Oh, this isn't mine. Hold on.
Tech help is on the way, not to worry.
We got it now. Uh-oh, no, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's on it. Technology. Go ahead, Lisa. We trust you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need pictures.
All right, I'm Lisa Campbell. I am the director of the crime laboratory. I have been with the department for 27 years. So speaking of the 60-year anniversary, myself and quite a few of our staff have been there for almost half of that time. We actually have a guy that's been there 36 years, so I'm sure he has lots of stories to tell. A lot of things have changed during that time, just since I've been there, and I anticipate that to keep going. And a lot of that is a result of the dedicated staff that we have that are always looking for process improvement and technological advancements. So essentially, I was going to start with a little timeline of the lab. So it did open in 1966. We had one patrolman and one part-time scientist. In 2005 was when the laboratory gained its first accreditation for the laboratory. And in 2013 is when we moved to our current location in the police headquarters building. We are accredited to ISO 17025, which is an international testing standard. It's not specific just to forensics. Therefore, we have additional supplemental guidelines that we follow. We also follow the quality assurance standards for forensic DNA testing laboratories. This is required for all CODIS participating laboratories, which is essentially the national DNA database. We also comply with industry best standards that are relevant to our testing that are established by NIST and the Organization of Scientific Area Committees. We service 87 municipalities, 52 police departments, and the federal agencies for the Eastern District of Missouri. In 2025, we received 10,502 requests for testing, and we completed 10,160.
119A and D, RSMO, and sections 114.0201.1, 21, and 23, SLCRO, for discussions in which, if conducted in open meeting, would impair the ability of St. Louis County, the St. Louis County Police Department, and the Board of Police Commissioners to protect the security or safety of persons or real property, and the public interest in non-disclosure outweighs the public interest in disclosure of the records. That having been said, is there a motion to go into closed session?
Second?
Amy, roll call.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner McCarter?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wang?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Thank you, everybody. We are moving into closed session. We have returned from closed session. The only vote that was taken was to return to open session. We did have committee assignments made with our two new commissioners. Commissioner McCarter has agreed to take on the role of secretary to the board, as well as our liaison to the academy. And Commissioner Wang has agreed to take over all of our appeals that we have with the board. Other than that, is there any other business that we have? Oh, our next meeting date was agreed on as September 9th. September 9th is our next meeting date. I forgot that. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Okay. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner McCarter?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wang?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Thank you, everyone.